Hey, hi everyone. I don't know what I just said. It was like hey and hi at the same time. My name is Jennifer Almaguer, and I love to talk about the good news. I love to spread the good news, and I love to talk about my one true love, Jesus Christ. He is so amazing. I am literally talking to him all day long. I have such a vivid imagination that he went on an excursion with me today. I'm in a different setting. I'm in Cancun celebrating my niece's quinceañera, and I needed my quiet time here in my room. And humbleness really was a word that has just been such a highlight in my mind and in my conversations, and thinking back to past experiences. And what I came to realize is that all of the good that I have is because God wanted me to have it. And I don't believe in luck. I believe in grace, and I believe in blessings, and I believe that we are provided all of the good because God wants us to have all of the good. And we get kind of greedy as people. I mean, and I think it's innately in us when we don't have God in our hearts, is like things are never enough. There's not enough money. There's not enough attention. There's not enough success. It's a bottomless pit. You will never have enough because it's never going to fill. So it's the trap of the world. And I think back when I had a really hard lesson on being humble. And I know some of you guys have too, because some of the people that I speak to, we have these type of conversations where, we, and this is like the worldly me, I would get these amazing jobs or an amazing amount of money. And I just felt that here's where my humbleness really crumbled. When I was given the opportunity to boast about my success in front of those who wronged me. Let me tell you something. In my flesh, in my humanness, it felt so good to shove it in their face. You wanted the worst for me, and you weren't there for me, and you tried to make my life harder, and look at these blessings that I have now, and I'm going to shove it in your face. And so I did. And then guess what? It all got taken away. Oh man, did that hurt. And not only did it get taken away, my situation got worse. And all I kept thinking, and mind you guys, this was before I fully started walking on the straight and narrow path. Jesus was more of a being that existed and that people, believed in, and I see it on TV and I see crosses, and he was just kind of, somewhat there in my life and in my existence. And like I said at the beginning of this video, he's all I think about. I'm talking to him all day long. And so because I prayed, God, please do not ever let me forget you, because I don't trust myself. I will forget you. I do have Dory. I have, what is it? Short-term memory loss. I have memory loss when it comes to you. I will completely forget you. And I know this about me. I've picked up on this pattern about me, and I'm asking in your name, Jesus Christ, to please show yourself to me every single day. Like, I need you to come make yourself known to me. And because I've become so sensitive to his presence, I'm able to like take a look, like, and that's just an expression. Like I can just be like, just looking at a painting, sipping my cup of coffee, and then I'll just have a random thought, random because I don't think it's random, of Christ. He will just pop in my mind. And oh man, okay, that was just a random example, but like today, in everything that I do and all of the beauty and nature that I see, I think about him. And I was like, so today I got to ride some motorcycles. And as I was riding the motorcycles, I got real emotional. And I started telling Jesus, like, Jesus, our world is so beautiful. Look at the nature, look at the trees, and these big, huge blue butterflies were just like they would just come out of the forest, like out of nowhere. And I love blue butterflies so much. And that has actually been the symbol that I have specifically asked God one time. I said, God, if this is the right thing for me to do, can you please show me a sign? But I needed to be so specific, because this means life or death for me. So if I see a blue butterfly, then that means that you're confirming this situation and that I need to go forward, that you are giving me the okay. And this was before I had Christ. A lot of my videos here have a lot to do with before I became this new person that I am today. And the blue butterfly would just not magically appear. I don't believe in magic, but he would give me the exact symbol that I needed. And it was just so amazing. And so I'm riding the four-wheeler today, and I see these big blue butterflies. And him and I, we have a connection with this big blue butterfly. And I'm just like, God, you are so good. You are just so good. Can you tell our Father what a wonderful place he has created? He has done such a wonderful job, and there's just so much mystery and so much beauty. And we got to go to the cenotes too, and it's just the body of water where caves, like underground caves. And so I'm just hanging out with Christ on my vacation. He's literally my partner, and we have so much fun together, and I don't feel the loneliness anymore. This is how I'm able to be whole and complete and content in my singlehood, that I feel like I don't lack anything, because he's very much alive and present in my life, because I have invited him in. I was the one that called him in, and I said, I need you to show yourself every time, every single day. I never want to forget you. I want to be obsessed, but a good obsessed about you, because you are the one that keeps me in line. You are the one that fills my cup and fills those loneliness voids and any anxiety or depression that wants to come in. You come in and you just sweep it away. You're just so amazing. I cannot live without you. I need you. I am completely dependent on you. And now I take that with humility, how to be humble in this new life. And I see the ways where I wasn't humble in the past, and it's a trap. So you guys, it's a trap in the sense of what I was explaining earlier about because we naturally want vengeance when people wrong us. We naturally want to say, you told me I couldn't, and look what I did. And it comes from a place of anger and hurt. It doesn't come from a place of love or kindness. And that is why this life is challenging to walk with Christ, because he doesn't want us operating under vengeance, because vengeance is God's. It's not for us. We can't get out of our zone of love, peace, joy, and harmony. We are to walk in that. And we are constantly challenged out, pulled away from love, kindness, joy, and harmony. Every single day we're pulled. We are challenged. But we pass tests, don't we? Because we take deep breaths. We think about God before we speak. We are growing in our self-control. It doesn't mean that we're perfect. It means that we grow in all of these areas. And we think we're smarter now. We have conviction now. We feel the uncomfortableness, like, ooh, I really messed up there. And the old me would have been like, that person deserved it. I didn't mess up, and I have every right to be angry and upset because what they did to me and what they said to me was just so wrong. And even though all of those feelings are valid, because God created our feelings, He created us, He made us this way, but we're supposed to take those feelings to God and say, God, I need you to take this from me. Literally, like, here it is. It's so heavy. It's bogging me down. And if I don't trust you and give it to you, because we are equally yoked now, that means that we are tied together as one. And when I can't carry this anymore, I'm tripping here. I'm falling to my knees because this is so heavy for me. I have to be smart enough to remember that you are here, ready to take my burdens off of me. So here is this vengeance, this rage, this thing that makes me so angry. This person that was so unfair to me and try to make my life harder on purpose. And I'm so upset and I'm so angry. And, we do have to find healthy ways how to express our anger. Did you guys know, and this is a worldly author, Robert Greene, he wrote all of his books through the feeling of anger. And he expressed that anger in such a healthy way. He poured it all into creating something that ultimately fed the world. He fed the world with knowledge, with human behavior, with the manipulation of how humans are. And, I don't want to get too much into who he is and what he did. It's just an example that I just remember. I love to read about people and study people. So he's someone that just popped in my mind about, this feeling of anger. Look at these guys that bodybuild, these women that bodybuild. A lot of that comes from, anger. Like, have you guys noticed when people break up, all of a sudden they have this beautiful muscular body because they were so depressed, and now they hit the gym because they want to feel better? Well, they channeled their anger into something healthy and wonderful for them. So now, we're smart enough to hand over our burdens to Christ so He can carry them, and so that you can remain in the emotions of peace, love, joy, and harmony. And it takes practice. You're going to make mistakes. You're probably going to fail. And that's okay because God forgives us. But it's not okay to say, well, I'm going to make a mistake because God's going to forgive me anyway. That's not the point, because then you're manipulating and you don't have a contrite heart. And that's what God asks us to do. He doesn't care about your successes and your accolades and all the beautiful, wonderful things that you say about Him in front of people. If your heart is polluted and you don't have a contrite heart, you don't have these emotions for Christ to want to do good at all times, then you're not really truly being the person that He has called you to be. So you have to really truly trust Him to handle the iniquities of other people. And so let's kind of flip that, right? So when you are given successes in this life, so I'm going to read 2 verses, and today I have to log off rather quickly because I'm on vacation with my family, but I just love connecting with the Lord, and I have to. It's my life. It's what gives me life and what gives me energy and gives me purpose, is to always take time to spend with Him no matter what. He is number one no matter what. And so these 2 verses, I'll go ahead and read these 2 verses and then I'll close off here. So James 4:10 says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and He will lift you up. It is not you that will lift you up. It is He who will lift you up. Have you guys noticed that, you or someone else, they can be working their butt off all of their life, and, and they're not being lifted up. And sometimes we feel that we need more, but it's probably a lot of times that, we don't appreciate what we have. We have to want what we have to get more. And it's not, I'm going to want what I have now so that I can get more. That's not the point. That's manipulation. But just having this appreciation of having what you already have, and humble yourself. Be grateful for what you do have. Like I said before, I realized that I need a lot less stuff in life to be happy, and I realized that. And so that really humbled me, where I was like, this little extra thing that I do get to have, wow, I get to have this. Like I said in another video that, life got really hard, like not really, really hard, but it got challenging. It's always hard to go backwards, to lose things, where I had to sell one of my cars. And now I share a car with my daughter. And that gets kind of tricky, like with our schedules and school and doctor's appointments. And gosh, it can be a real headache. So, that really humbled me. And I was like, you know what, God? Thank you that I have a car. Thank you that, that I have my health. Instead of complaining and saying, wah, I had to sell one of my cars, I was like, thank you that my car hasn't broken down. Thank you that I'm healthy and that I do get to have the beautiful things that I get to have. And so I'm going to skip over to Luke 14:11. It says, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." So it's so easy to read these passages and just kind of like they fall flat. But when someone pushes your buttons and they tempt you to fall from grace and not humble yourself, but be boastful about yourself because you have all of the feelings inside of the rage and revenge and all the emotions you're supposed to give to Christ, well, you're more likely going to fall if you haven't learned to give that over to Christ, because we're not supposed to come out of a place of joy. And if we do, we have to take it to him, because God doesn't like boastful people. God doesn't like people that think they're all that and a bag of chips and think that they did all this for themselves, where they become their own God and say, look at me, look at all the money I made, look at all the success I made for myself. It becomes an I, me, I have all of this because of me. Who do you think wanted you to have that? All the good comes from God. And so when you exalt yourself and you talk about yourself and all the good things you've done, like, that's annoying. Even though it's true, and we have this natural tendency to want to be seen when a success happens to us, and we win something or we get promoted, like, we want to tell someone, right? We want to boast about it, but we're only to boast about God and God's love. So you can humble yourself and tell that really good friend, say, guess what the Lord blessed me with? The Lord blessed me with this wonderful opportunity. Praise all be to God. He's so amazing. So there you get to express your winnings while giving all the credit to God. And that's all he wants from us. Those who humble themselves will be exalted. And maybe you don't feel like you have to, share your winnings with other people. But most of us do have that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I just won the lottery. I have to tell somebody. And it's just such an exciting feeling to feel. And that's good. What a blessing. But just remember to give all the credit to God, because he's really the one behind the scenes making all these amazing things come true in your life. So that was something that I really felt that I wanted to share. It's actually been on my heart for a couple of weeks now, and I hope this video served you. And if you haven't followed my channel, I do invite you to do so. And thank you guys for the coffee donations. And you know, there's usually a cup of coffee next to me. I just love coffee so much. Anyway, I hope you guys are well, and I hope that you have peace in your heart. God bless you. Adios.